lip-reading expert on what Angela Carini said to her corner. The sight of Angela Carini weeping in the ring, after withdrawing from her welterweight bout with Algeria's Imane Khelif on Thursday afternoon, looks set to be one of the defining images of the Paris Olympics. Now, a lip-reading expert has revealed what Carini said to her coach immediately after abandoning the fight, which lasted only 46 seconds and saw just 2 punches landed. Khelif's presence at the Games is controversial in itself. The 25-year-old was disqualified from last year's Women's World Championships after failing a gender eligibility test. That competition was governed by the International Boxing Association, whereas the 2024 Olympic boxing tournament is overseen by the Paris Boxing Unit, PBU. It was the PBU that granted Khelif permission to compete at the Games ahead of her fight round clash with Carini. When the Italian was asked about her opponent's previously failed test, she reasoned, "I can only adapt to the rules of the Olympics." Carini claimed Khelif hit harder than any of her previous opponents. Only 2 blows were landed in the brief bout. Carini told the referee she could not continue after absorbing a pair of punches from her opponent and sobbed in the middle of the ring following the end of the contest. Despite being overcome with emotion, she did manage to have a brief conversation with her coach. Per Gazzetta dello Sport, via the Daily Mail, a lip-reading expert confirmed that Carini told her corner, "It hurt like hell," in reference to getting hit by Khelif. She shared the same sentiment in post-fight comments made to reporters. Via Eurosport, she said the following: "I just wanted to go to the ring to fight. I didn't give up, but a punch hurt too much, and so I said enough." Giving up was a gesture of maturity, not of surrender. The Guardian's Sean Ingle reported heartbreaking scenes in the mixed zone after the fight, writing that Carini broke down in tears as she explained that she had never been hit so hard before. There was a deeply personal reason behind the emotional response Carini gave after the fight, as she explained that she came to the Olympics to honor her father, that she was a warrior but had to stop. Ingle also reported that Carini's coach commented on the bout shortly after the Italian's loss. He indicated that his fighter may have sustained a broken nose in the short fight, stating, "I don't know if her nose is broken. I have to speak with the girl." Khelif advances to the Olympic quarterfinals after her quickfire win. She will face Hungary's Anna Luca Hamori in the last 8 on Saturday. Angela Carini gives first interview after controversial Olympic boxing fight. Italian boxer Angela Carini has explained her reasons for walking out of her welterweight bout with Algeria's Imane Khelif at the Olympics after just 46 seconds. The contest took place against a backdrop of controversy, with Khelif being one of 2 boxers who were cleared to compete in the women's boxing despite being disqualified from participation in last year's Women's World Championships after failing a testosterone levels test. Ultimately, Khelif's participation was approved by the Paris Boxing Unit prior to the Olympics, despite her concerning gender test result. However, Carini, who called a halt to the fight after taking just 2 punches, insisted that her withdrawal was not a statement of any kind about Khelif's presence at the Games. Instead, she revealed that the force of her opponent's blows had forced her to bow out. As can be seen in the video, Carini was left holding her nose while in tears in the center of the ring after the fight was stopped, with one of the punches she shipped appearing to have unfastened her chin strap. The Telegraph later reported that the 25-year-old had suffered a broken nose. Italy's Carini abandoned her Olympic bout after only 46 seconds. The fighter admitted that the 2 punches she took from her opponent had been too much for her. In an emotional interview after the fight, Carini shared her feelings at the time of her decision. "I put an end to the match because after the second blow, after years of experience in the ring and a life of fighting, I felt a strong pain in my nose. I said that's enough because I could not bring the match to an end. So I thought maybe it's better to put an end to the match." Why boxer Imane Khelif can compete at Paris 2024 Olympics. Imane Khelif is through to the quarterfinal of the women's welterweight boxing competition at the Paris Olympics, following her 46-second victory over Angela Carini on Thursday. Algeria's Khelif threw just 2 punches before her opponent walked out on the fight in tears. The 25-year-old now advances to the last 8, where she will face Hungary's Anna Luca Hamori on Saturday afternoon. However, some have questioned why she is present at the Games after being disqualified from the Women's World Boxing Championships last year. Khelif was thrown out of the tournament in New Delhi shortly before she was set to contest the gold medal bout against China's Yang Liu after failing a gender eligibility test. BBC Sport later confirmed that this was due to elevated testosterone levels. Khelif's test failure is not recognized by the body that oversees Olympic boxing. She was cleared to compete after a hearing last month. The competition in which Khelif failed the gender test was organized by the International Boxing Association, IBA, a governing body no longer recognized by the International Olympic Committee, IOC. As the IOC does not consider the IBA to be a reputable federation, it is not bound by their rulings or findings, including any drug test failures. The 2024 Olympic boxing competition is instead being overseen by the Paris Boxing Unit, PBU, who decided in July that the Algerian would be allowed to compete at the Games. Confirming its decision, the PBU stated, per NBC New York, all athletes participating in the boxing tournament of the Olympic Games Paris 2024 comply with the competition's eligibility and entry regulations, as well as all applicable medical regulations in accordance with Rules 1.4 and 3.1 of the Paris 2024 Boxing Unit. The statement continued, the PBU has endeavored to restrict amendments to minimize the impact on athletes' preparation and guaranteeing consistency between Olympic Games. Asked for her views on the situation ahead of her first-round clash with Khelif on Thursday, Carini reasoned, I can only adapt to the rules of the Olympics. Carini dropped to her knees while sobbing in the center of the ring after deciding to withdraw from the first-round contest. Organizers insist that Khelif, along with all other competitors, meets the criteria to fight. Per Yahoo Sports, IOC spokesperson Mark Adams said of Khelif and fellow disqualified competitor Yu-ting, these athletes have competed many times before for many years. They haven't just suddenly arrived, they competed in Tokyo. Khelif lost to Ireland's Kelly Harrington in the quarterfinals 3 years ago. Khelif's quarterfinal opponent, Hamori, told the BBC that she has no issue with taking on the Algerian, in a bout where the winner will be guaranteed an Olympic medal. My mentality is never to give up. It doesn't matter what happens. Carini's withdrawal is her choice. I can promise I will fight to the end. We will see what happens.
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for daily updates